Hello, I'm Steve Riley. We are at southern Indiana, a little town called Deputy, which we're about 45 miles north of Louisville, Kentucky. A lot of people call it God's country, but it's very hard to make dry hay here. It can happen, but the windows of opportunity seems to be so short anymore that we just can't seem to get anything done. And now we're pretty much 100% wet hay. Probably the biggest challenge with the last baler I had was I just wasn't getting it ground up the way I wanted it. It processed wet hay to a certain extent, but it still wasn't enough. I was losing a lot at the hay feeders. Felt like I was hauling a lot back out in the manure spreader.
Steve was using a competitor baler, and he was trying to get the slice. He was wanting to slice the hay up. That was his main thing. But the competitor baler would not do that.
About 2.8 mile an hour is as fast as I could run that baler without plugging it up. Same afternoon, they brought this baler in. Probably 4 or 5 hours later, we was running 8.3 mile an hour, and the baler was still cruising right along, just didn't have a big enough pony in front of it to keep it running at 8.3 mile an hour.
And Steve had some humongous windrows. It was green hay, and he was getting up there to a little over 8 miles an hour, and he actually got to 8.3 miles an hour in his tractor. He just didn't have enough horsepower.
That was a big thing with me, was I wanted something to try before spending the money on it. And Vermeer was there. They brought it, set it up. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. And they brought it here and demoed it, and it ain't left yet. It's still here.
The main thing that Steve's after is he was wanting to be able to put up more hay in a package. That way he has less bales to handle.
On average, the bales that we're baling is anywhere from 2,000 pounds up to 2,300 pounds, depending on what kind of material we're putting in them. On a dry bale, we can make a hard core center, we can make a soft core center. You might have to buy 2 different balers to do the same thing this one's doing. Until this baler, I ain't ever had a baler that satisfied me on basically wastage. Now with this here, slicing it, the cows are getting no more than they can grab in their mouth. I'd have to say the biggest impact that 504 has had on our operation is that, we're able to increase the cow numbers. If I can run another 15, 20, 25 cows and work no harder at getting the hay processed and everything, I think the 504 Pro is going to let me accomplish that if I want to go that far. I'm Steve Riley, and that's why I switched to 504 Pro.